a jackpot winner does within the first 24 hours. The first 24 hours after winning a jackpot decide more about your financial future than almost any decision you'll make afterward. Most winners waste this window entirely running on pure adrenaline. The smartest ones treat it like the most important 24 hours of their entire life. It's worth understanding why this specific window matters so much before getting into the list itself. Financial advisors who work with sudden wealth clients describe the first day after a major win as a kind of decision-making minefield. Every choice feels urgent. Every instinct says move fast, and almost none of that urgency is actually justified by anything real. Claim deadlines are typically measured in weeks or months, not hours. The money isn't going anywhere. But the emotional pressure to act immediately is powerful enough that most winners never stop to question it, and that single unquestioned assumption is where a lot of the damage in this story tends to begin. The first thing a smart winner does, before anything else, is sign the back of the ticket. Not tomorrow, not after celebrating, immediately on the spot. In most jurisdictions, a lottery ticket functions legally as a bearer instrument, meaning whoever physically holds it and signs it can typically claim the prize. Attorneys who specialize in lottery winnings consistently point to this as the single most time-sensitive step in the entire process, because an unsigned ticket sitting in a wallet, a car, or a jacket pocket for even a few hours carries real risk of loss, theft, or damage. Signing it converts a fragile piece of paper into something considerably closer to a secured legal document, and it takes about 5 seconds to do. It's the kind of step that feels almost too small to matter in a moment this big, which is exactly why so many winners skip it entirely in the excitement of the first few minutes. The second thing is documenting and securing that ticket properly. Smart winners take clear photos of both sides of the ticket from multiple angles, make a physical photocopy if possible, and get the original into something more secure than a pocket or purse within the first few hours. A home safe, or ideally a bank safe deposit box, first thing the next business day. There have been documented cases of winning tickets lost in the wash, left behind in cars that were later broken into, or simply misplaced during the chaos and excitement of the moment. None of that risk is necessary. A ticket worth potentially millions of dollars deserves to be treated from the very first hour like the single most valuable object the winner has ever held, because for a short window of time, it functionally is. Some winners even go a step further, keeping the photographed copy on a separate device or cloud account entirely, so that a lost phone doesn't also mean losing the only backup of the ticket itself. The third thing might be the hardest, telling absolutely no one, at least not yet. Not a best friend, not a coworker, not a post on social media in a moment of understandable excitement. Financial advisors who work with sudden wealth clients consistently identify the speed at which news spreads as one of the biggest predictors of how chaotic the following months become. Once even one other person knows, the information tends to spread far faster than a winner expects, and every hour of privacy lost in that first day is an hour a winner won't get back once family, friends, and strangers start reaching out with requests. Smart winners treat those first 24 hours as a deliberate, temporary vault around the news itself, separate entirely from the eventual decision of who to tell and when. This isn't about permanent secrecy. Most winners do eventually tell people close to them. It's about controlling the order and timing of that reveal, rather than letting the news spread on its own terms before any plan exists. The fourth thing follows directly from the third, staying completely off social media, in every direction. That means no posts, obviously, but also no unusual online behavior that could tip anyone off. No sudden browsing of luxury real estate, no public comments hinting at good news, nothing that creates a digital trail before a winner has had any time to think clearly. Reporters and even scammers have been known to actively monitor lottery-adjacent social activity in regions where a large jackpot was just won, specifically looking for behavioral clues that might identify the winner before an official claim is even made. Even something as small as an unusually cheerful post with no clear explanation has, in past cases, drawn enough curiosity from online communities to start genuine speculation about who the mystery winner might be. The safest approach for those first 24 hours is treating every online account, every group chat, and every casual comment as though it could somehow be traced back, because in a world of screenshots and shared messages, it often can be. The fifth thing is verifying the win through official channels only, rather than relying purely on a quick check against numbers posted online or repeated secondhand. Official lottery websites and verified retailer terminals remain the most reliable way to confirm a win beyond any doubt, and smart winners take this step calmly and deliberately rather than in a rush of initial excitement, precisely because a mistaken confirmation followed by a public celebration is both embarrassing and, in the age of social media, difficult to fully take back. There are documented cases of winners misreading a ticket, celebrating publicly, and then having to walk the announcement back once. An official check revealed the actual prize amount was different from what they initially believed, an entirely avoidable situation that a few extra minutes of careful verification would have prevented. The sixth thing is researching the claim deadline and the specific anonymity rules in their jurisdiction, ideally before doing much else at all. Most places offer a claim window ranging from several weeks to as long as a year, which is far more time than the emotional urgency of the moment tends to suggest. Just as important, anonymity laws vary enormously by location. Some places allow a winner to claim entirely anonymously. Others allow claiming through a trust, and others require full public disclosure with no exceptions. Knowing exactly which category applies within the first day shapes almost every decision that follows, including whether setting up a trust before claiming is even worth pursuing. This single piece of research, done calmly on day one, has in many documented cases determined whether a winner ever appeared in the news at all. It's also worth noting that rules can differ even between neighboring regions, so a winner who assumes their situation works like a story they saw online about a completely different jurisdiction can end up making plans based on rules that simply don't apply to them. The seventh thing is beginning to identify, though not necessarily formally hiring yet, the right professional team, specifically an attorney experienced in lottery winnings, and separately a financial advisor equipped to handle a sudden, large windfall. Within the first 24 hours, this usually looks less like signed contracts and more like a focused list, names, credentials, and initial outreach, so that by the time the ticket is actually claimed, a winner isn't starting that search from zero under public pressure. Financial researchers who study lottery winners over time consistently find that winners who assembled professional guidance early before claiming fared significantly better in the years that followed than winners who handled the initial claim entirely alone and figured out the professional side afterward. Even a short list of 2 or 3 candidates, researched calmly on day one, puts a winner miles ahead of someone scrambling to find representation after the news has already become public. The eighth and final thing might be the simplest and also the most commonly ignored: doing nothing drastic at all and getting a full night's sleep. No resignation letters, no calls to car dealerships, no browsing real estate listings for a new house. Financial advisors who specialize in sudden wealth almost universally recommend against any major decision in the first 24 to 48 hours. Specifically because the emotional state a person is in immediately after a life-changing win is, by definition, not the same state they'll be in a week or a month later, and decisions made in that narrow window of adrenaline and disbelief are exactly the ones winners tend to regret most once the shock finally settles. Sleep, in particular, does something no amount of research or planning can replace. It lets the initial shock genuinely wear off, so that the decisions made on day 2 come from a meaningfully calmer, clearer place than anything decided in the first few sleepless hours. Winners who've been through this describe that first night's sleep, oddly enough, as one of the hardest parts of the entire process, lying awake with a life-changing secret, doing absolutely nothing about it on purpose. What ties all 8 of these together is something none of them have anything to do with the size of the jackpot itself. They're about time, documentation, privacy, and restraint. 4 things available to absolutely any winner, regardless of whether the prize is a few $100,000 or several hundred million. The winners who treat those first 24 hours as the most important financial decisions of their entire life are, statistically, the same winners who are still telling a very different story 5, 10, 20 years down the line. The jackpot is luck, and what happens in the first day afterward is not. None of these 8 steps require special knowledge, special wealth, or special access most people couldn't manage on their own. A pen to sign a ticket, a safe or a deposit box, the discipline to stay quiet for 1 day, a few hours of calm research instead of a few hours of celebration. What separates the winners who are still rich decades later from the ones who aren't was rarely decided by the jackpot amount at all. It was decided in the first 24 hours by whether they treated that window as the beginning of a plan or simply as the best day of their life to be lived without one. Every single one of these steps can be undone or adjusted later if a winner changes their mind. A trust can still be dissolved. A financial advisor can still be swapped out. Even the decision to eventually go public can happen whenever a winner is genuinely ready for it.